Don't waste time figuring out what is the best language. There is no best language. If you're on this channel, I guess you want to become a web programmer, so go for JavaScript, or if you'd rather learn Python, go for Python. It's okay. But let's assume you will start with JavaScript. So no time wasted. Start with JavaScript. Learn the foundations, like what are variables or constants, then arrays, then learn to use loops to create loops like for loops, while loops, or for each. Then learn to create functions. This will allow you to call a block of code that you then be able to reuse in any part of your application. And the if statement is so useful when you create apps. So with these 5 fundamentals, you're ready for the next steps. The most important step to practice as soon as you know these fundamentals, because it's so tempting to say, oh yeah, I've got so many things to learn before creating my first app. No. Remember that what matters when you want to become a programmer is to be able to program, to create apps, because what you know doesn't matter. What matters is what you can do, what functionality you're able to implement. And this is something that you must practice a lot. You must practice. I will give you ideas in another video, and I will show you soon. I will record these videos in a couple of days. You will see these videos in the top right corner. We will create together a complete app from start to finish. The next step is to learn to retrieve external data. In any app, almost any app in 2023, you will need to use external data. It could be weather forecast, it could be subway or buses, timetables or recipes. There are hundreds of what we call APIs that you need to learn to consume, and then create a new app. That could be an app that you would, for example, use simply to retrieve the weather forecast from different cities based on the city you would select from a drop-down list. It could be an app that would allow you to retrieve some data from Wikipedia or from a movie database, just to see what a movie is about and what is the average rating from viewers who saw the movie, etc. There are countless of things you can create using this new skill of retrieving external data. Learning takes time, but pleasure is immediate. So if you follow these steps, you will very soon feel the pleasure to be able to create, to allow your users to create data through a form that you would have programmed, or to create a mini social network, or there are many things you can do at this step already, and you will feel pleasure very soon. Find a motivation. It can be making money, because this is the new field in which you want to work. This is escaping your current job that you hate. This can be automating tasks. Maybe you're a network administrator who wants to create a script or an app to parse the logs. Or maybe you want to create tools to help your colleagues to do a specific task. Maybe you're an accountant and you want to help your colleagues to find customers based on a specific filter. There are many things you can do when you know a programming language. Avoid tutorial hell. This is something that is very common. You will start watching a video to learn something specific to a language, then another one, then another one, and another one, and you will end up never programming. So use tutorials only when you need to solve a specific problem. For example, maybe you can't remember how to create a promise in JavaScript. No problem. Look at videos teaching you how to create a promise and then apply. This must be in the context of an app you're creating. For example, you forgot how to switch from a page to another one on your app, to what we call routing. So just watch a video that will teach you or refresh your memory about how to implement routing, for example, in React or in Angular, in Vue. It doesn't matter, but this is how you can avoid tutorial hell, is by working on a specific app as soon as possible. Once you've created something like 5 or 6 apps, then and only then learn specific design patterns like the factory pattern, the builder pattern, the proxy or the decorator pattern. There are 5 or 6 design patterns that are very often used, but you must learn these design patterns only after you've already learned the basics and you've already developed your own 5 or 6 apps, because else this will be another way of procrastinating. You will start learning design patterns before you've even created a single app, and so you will delay the moment when you create your own apps. Remember, a programmer is a maker. A programmer is a maker. What you know is less important than what you can do, because this is what you can do that will allow you then to land a job and to learn this very important skill of being a programmer. A programmer is a guy who is able, or a girl who's able to implement functionalities. Learn a no-code tool like Bubble or Webflow, because in 2022 I landed a good job that consisted in rewriting an app that had been developed by guys who were not programmers and who did a good job at creating the app they needed, but then they needed extra functionality that this no-code tool couldn't provide. So I landed this job, and I went from what they did, and I went from their app, and I created a new app from scratch, but I re-implemented all that they've done, plus what they wanted to do that they couldn't do with the no-tool app. So it's a good thing to know how to use a no-code tool like Webflow or Bubble. There are lots of tools like this. If you feel like using these tools yourself, you will see that you will be able to do extra things that guys who don't know how to code cannot do, especially in Webflow. Try a couple of AIs, especially GitHub Copilot, because you will see it's a good way of familiarizing yourself with AI and not being afraid of them. Because what an AI will create for you is often something that you will have to modify. So consider GitHub Copilot, especially like a tool that will replace Google search or Stack Overflow search. And also you will see that AI are not ready yet to replace you. At this stage, try to land your first job or freelance mission. You won't feel ready, but if you've already created 5, 6 or 10 apps, you will be able to create the functionalities that a customer or an employer will want you to implement. You will either be successful and make money and be happy, or you will fail and you will know what knowledge you lack, and you will know exactly what you will need to improve on. If you want to know how long it takes becoming a programmer, I've got a video for you.